first question. So there are more than 5 estimators, and I've read suggestions on using different methods to assess heterogeneity. I also saw differences from Desmonian-led and RMEL from your presentation. And what would you suggest?
Yeah, so I guess I can answer that. So we have a lot of confidence interval. I mean, heterogeneity estimators, more than 10 or more than 15, I can't even remember. But according to the simulation studies, and one very thorough simulation study conducted by Dean Lankan, where they compared multiple estimators in that simulation according to the Cochrane review characteristics, the restricted maximum likelihood would be the most valid, let's say, approach to use in these cases. So I would similar to what we've discussed today, I would recommend to use the restricted maximum likelihood.
Okay, thank you. Another question. Why did you decide to use K, is that K minus 1 rather than K minus 2 for the prediction interval? From Michael Borenstein.
Yeah, I think so that really, Arjie's done some work on this, so I will hand back over to her about this, but that's really to make sure that when when heterogeneity, your estimated heterogeneity is equal to 0, that your confidence interval matches your prediction interval. But I'll hand over to Arjie. She's done some work on this.
Exactly. So in the absence of heterogeneity, we expect that the confidence interval will be the same with the prediction interval. So in order to have this agreement between confidence intervals and prediction intervals, we needed to have the t-distribution with the same degrees of freedom. And given that Hartang-Knapp, Seding-Jongman is using the k minus 1, also the prediction interval had to use the k minus 1 degrees of freedom. So that was the main reason behind that. And also the metaphor package in R uses the same approach.
And just in relation to the second question that you had there, Michael, around the formulas that are being used, we're updating the statistical algorithms document. So when the methods become available to users, that document will also be available.
Fantastic, thank you. And this will have to be the final question from Kevin. Thank you for the presentation. How does the performance of the heterogeneity estimators compare when the sample sizes of the included studies are large? And what about when the sample sizes vary considerably?
Yes, this is a great question. So the simulation studies, if I can remember, regarding the heterogeneity estimators, and Joe, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think, again, between the REML and the wall type method, REML performed better. But we mostly saw simulations with the different sample sizes in the studies when they compared the Hartang-Knapp and the wall type method. So we have more evidence in this aspect, I believe, rather than the heterogeneity estimators. But yeah, maybe Joe, you remember better than me.
No, not particularly, Arjie, but just to say that really the big change here is the confidence interval method. So the kind of, even although the REML method is an improvement on Desmonian-led in many situations, what the really kind of big driver of the differences in the confidence intervals for the summary effect really come from the use of the Knapp-Hartung confidence interval method rather than those heterogeneity estimators.